get that intro video up. And 238 records live in 3, 2, 1. The Angry Chicken is a production of Amove TV. Bookmark amove.tv for more gaming and esports shows. The Angry Chicken is directly supported by listeners like you via patreon.com/TAC.
Everyone, get in here! Ready for action! I've got the beast in my sight.
A podcast about Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft. This is the Angry Chicken.
Welcome back, everybody. This is indeed the Angry Chicken. I'm Garrett Weinzerl, and I'm joined, as always, by Willie Dills Gregory and Jocelyn Moffat. Welcome back, guys.
Hello, hello.
What up?
Happy Kobolds and Catacombs release week.
Yeah, we're here. It's time. Although I got the bad news. I worked on Sunday, and the schedule for December came out. I'm working Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That means the 8th, 9th, and 10th. The weekend right when it's out, and normally I would do nothing but play Hearthstone all day. I'll be working all 3 of those days. So I will get Thursday, though. Like Thursday, I have all day. So.
Well, that's better than me because my power company called, and they're shutting off my power on Thursday.
That's terrible.
That's just the worst. I have meetings on Thursday, so I don't think we're doing a card reveal stream, it sounds like, by all 3 of us. Dills, it looks like you're the only person who's kind of free to do what you want. So unless the expansion goes live super early, I can't. I have other things I gotta work on as well, because I can't take another Thursday off if I got there was Thanksgiving, there was BlizzCon, there were too many things I had to push. So
November and December are historically just tough for the kind of stuff we do, right? Because it's like normally like jobs are set up to give you this time off, right?
Yeah.
Our jobs are really set up to there's nobody like, hey, paid vacation days are this and this and this. It's like, no. Stuff happens and we just don't
this
work.
is like game of the year time and crazy Black Friday sale time, and everything's ramping up right now.
Blizzard content creation, always a little nuts at the end of the year. Always a little nuts, but it's still a big week. I'll still have plenty of time to try out Kobolds and Catacombs, which is good. It's just that we are not going to be able to get together for our traditional triple-headed. Last time it was quadruple-headed card pack opening spree. But that's the only thing that I'll be missing. It's fine if you're an audio only listener. If you didn't watch that stuff anyway because it was video content, you've got a good week because we're doing 2 episodes back to back this week. If you're watching live, you get to see them both back to back. Chat room, don't worry, it's fine. But if you're an audio only listener, episode 239 is going up. Now you're listening to it, and episode 240 will be coming out tomorrow. We got some good shows for you, folks. We have all the rest of the Kobolds and Catacombs card reveals to discuss. So today we are doing just the remaining neutrals. That is over 30 cards we have to go over today. And 240 will be up tomorrow for you podcast listeners, covering all the rest of the class cards. That's over 40 cards to talk about. So those are, again, 2 TAC episodes back to back. Don't worry. Coming to you loud and clear. But,
AKA tack to tack.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. And that's not a hairy tack either. You don't need to shave it. It's feathery. Like a hairy back? Sorry, Jocelyn. I'm sorry you don't have to deal with this. Before we move into that, hey, Dills, what else is going on besides scheduling woes?
Well, we just want to give a congratulations to the winner of the frozen taco, which was The Word, and it was a lot of fun. We had it on the December 2nd, Saturday, and it was 120 people signed up, so it was a pretty big taco, considering how they've been recently. It was a larger than double-decker taco, if I might say. Yeah. But no, it was a lot of fun and a lot of really good play. We streamed the final 4, which was, BioVisionary, The Word, Rebobson, and Leet357. So special shout out to all the people who made the top 4. They all got gift cards coming to them. And Rebobson and The Word had a tense and 5-game all the way down to the final game finals, and it was fantastic. So really good job by everybody. Thanks everybody for being really cool. All the players were awesome. We only had like maybe 1 or 2 issues, and they were all resolved really quickly, and everyone worked with me. And it was nice. It was nice. I'm glad that it worked out as smoothly as it was when I realized there was that many people. I got a little nervous the night before when all of a sudden I looked up and I was like, oh, damn. We basically filled this bracket. Yes, thank you for everybody for being awesome, and congratulations to the winner.
Yeah, it was a good time. Those the semis and the finals were surprisingly close. Both the semis that we casted and the finals went to all 5 games.
Yep.
If you missed it, if you didn't get a chance to watch it live, the VOD is up over at youtube.com/amovetv. As of me speaking, it's the most recent upload. That'll change by the time we wrap up this episode, but it should still be very easy for you to find. If you won, whether because you placed in the top 4 or because you were one of our 2 just randomly selected winners of a $20 Battle.net Balance gift card, those winnings should be going out tomorrow. I'm going to try and have them in your hands before the before Kobolds and Catacombs goes live. I already have received multiple emails asking about that. There's not an easy way to get you gift cards. I literally have to.
Just be glad that you were in the taco, because apparently if you're in like one of these major, thousands of dollar tournaments, you don't get paid for like months. So
well, that's the difference, I guess,
paying
right?
out an esports tournament pretty quickly.
Well, when you get $20, it's pretty easy to turn that around. When you get thousands of dollars,
Sure.
There's some things to sign. It really just boils down to I have to physically go to a store and buy physical cards and physically scratch them off and physically take a photo of them to get a digital version of this code to send you. I don't know why it's not easier to gift Battle.net Balance.
You can gift now through the Battle.net client, right?
Can you gift balance? I know you can gift specifically
I think
card
so.
packs. Did they change
so.
that? Okay.
We should talk after the show.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we can shorten this process.
It's news to me because this hasn't been the case for every other taco we've ever done. So.
Yeah, they were recent changes. With the
Ah.
Battle.net
Yeah, but I
social
think as
stuff.
long as you have their Battle.net tag, you should be able to just be like, here's $20.
Done. Happening after the show if that's the case. Also, I wanted to mention, guys, that Day 9 Ben Bro 9 stream was the best thing to come out of Team 5 this year.
It was amazing.
That was
amazing.
really good.
I couldn't stop tweeting about it because I was just like, guys, you need to see this. It's actually ridiculously funny. I am laughing out loud at these 2 right now. Sometimes I get lucky when thinking, oh my God.
Well, I'll say this. I was watching it, and I am Ben Brode whenever I watch Day 9 stream. Because it is, he is one of my favorite streamers, and it is infuriating watching him not realize that he is just, making mistakes. The simplest of mistakes, too. So I was glad when Ben Brode was like, no! And I'm like, that's me, dude. That's me. Day 9, you're the best, but damn it, pay attention.
He is my favorite Hearthstone streamer, by the way. There's a million. Everyone is dime a dozen. Perfect Hearthstone players. That's the majority of streamers that are successful. I have so much joy in watching Day 9 screw things up. He is my favorite Hearthstone streamer because he's actually having fun. Everyone else is min-maxing, fighting with their chat. I like Day 9 because he's just I'm going to do this because that's what I want to do. I don't care if it's the right thing.
Sure. No, I mean that's the reason that I still watch him. But it's just one of those things. It's such an obvious thing, right? Clear one minion, then play the thing that plays maybe a Leok, right? Before you attack. I don't know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, I love the fact that he plays fun decks, and if he makes a mistake, it doesn't bother him. That's beautiful.
Yeah. It was a really good time. I missed it live, and I think this is the first time I've ever gone back in my entire life and watched a 2-hour stream after the fact via on demand because I got on Twitter. Jocelyn, I saw probably over the course of a few minutes, 5 tweets from you, and then I'm getting on Twitter all day, and I just start thinking to myself, Jocelyn, shut up about the Day 9 stream, and then I realize it's not you anymore. Literally everyone on my feed is talking about it.
Yeah.
So it
was amazing.
Yeah, I went and watched it, and for once the hype was not too much. It really was just a damn good time.
I even stuck around for the dungeon run part, which I wasn't really planning on it. I didn't think that it would necessarily be that much fun to watch. It was kind of something I wanted to experience myself, but then they were just so entertaining. I couldn't turn it off. So I ended up staying and watching for a whole extra hour after I was planning on going and doing other things.
Yeah, I really think dungeon runs are going to be the hot thing to be streaming for a little while. That was highly entertaining to watch.
I feel like it will be good for interaction with the chat rooms for sure, because like you can very much like say in between bosses, like, okay, who am I? And I guess actually there's no rope in Dungeon Run either.
Nope.
So really you can talk through turns, you can talk through like treasure choices and deck building choices. I think it's going to be interesting to do with a committee, shall we call it?
Yeah. Well, I was just relieved to see that it was so much fun to watch, and I'm relieved that salmon levels will return to normal in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always good. It's always good. Joss, what's up with you?
I'm going to be harping on this right until the end of the year, and nothing new is going to be up with me until you guys go and donate to our Extra Life campaign. It is bit.ly/TGI Extra Life 2017. We've had a great year this year. Just wanted to remind you guys that if you want to donate to the Children's Miracle Network, then that is the best way to do it. 100% of your donation goes to the children's hospitals. So go check it out.
Over $4,000 already raised. Still taking donations? Good cause. Go check it out.
All the way until December 31st. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we've got a great show for you today. We're talking all neutral cards on this episode. Before we get into that, let's thank our sponsor for today's episode, Harrys.com. They are back. You have heard us talk about Harrys multiple times if you've listened to, I don't know, more than one episode of The Angry Chicken, chances are. And they are still sponsoring us, no matter how many times we talk about shaving our gross shoulders with their product. And it's good this time of year because it is officially December. Somehow, time no longer makes sense to me, but I'm having to find gifts, and of course, I'm going to Harry's for some folks on my list because they have brought back those limited edition shaving sets that we got for the first time last year, and I remember us being super impressed. And they are back this year. They have even more to offer. As a special offer to all of our Angry Chicken listeners out there, they're giving you $5 off your order when you go to harrys.com/TAC. These gift sets come with those same German-engineered 5-blade cartridges that we've talked about in the past, that great-smelling foaming shave gel. They come with... not only is the gift set limited edition, but there are limited edition winter chrome and emerald green handles. Dills, you have the chrome one, right?
Yeah, I'm a Chrome guy.
Okay. All right. I like the emerald green. I'm a fan.
I think they sent me one of each. Like they sent like a box and they sent just the individual one. So, I mean, look, I will say both are handsome razors. But the Chrome one's just shiny, and I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can personalize this with engraving. They come in those great boxes. They start at just $10, and some of them even fit in those oversized socks that you like to put over your fireplace. That's right. I have a fireplace in Florida. It's fine. We don't use it, but it's there.
Well, you need it for Santa. Duh.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone should have a fireplace. Everyone.
This year, I'm asking Santa to please shave. That beard, he needs to either wear a beard net or he needs to crack into one of those stockings, and I'm more than happy to give Santa a Harry's razor. So you should check that out. So this holiday, give Harry's and give Handsome. Get your holiday shopping done early and take advantage of the free shipping that's also going on over at Harry's, while also getting $5 off of your order because you went to harrys.com/TAC, got a great razor or a gift box, $5 off, free shipping, and you support the Angry Chicken in the process. We thank them for their support. Check them out. Now, let's move on to the second to last Kobolds and Card Talk before the set releases.
To your left is a door with a sign on it that says, "Adventurers keep out." To your right is a door with the words "Certain Death" scrawled on it. Steel yourselves, adventurers. We're going in.
I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that bumper. I'm gonna have to clip out just the certain death portion and keep it somewhere on the board because I like it so much. So as we already mentioned, we're doing neutrals today, going a little out of order. We were going just in class alphabetical rarity order in episodes past. So we're gonna finish up the neutrals today, which means we get to start with a character who just looks pleased as punch. Master Oakheart, a 9-mana, 5/5 legendary neutral minion with a battle cry that reads, recruit a 1, 2, and 3 attack minion.
Damn, I totally missed that the first time. I thought it was a 1, 2, and 3 cost.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's attack, yeah.
Yeah.
So that changes everything. So
It does change everything.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
can-
what to say now.
You can kind of specifically target some things, I guess. The fact that it's neutral too means that, I feel like when I look at this card, there's something there. What it is, I have no idea until I sit down with my collection open and start kind of messing around, because it seems like what you're going to want is very specific minions that do very specific things, and you're going to just have this big turn where you pull them out all at once, and somehow they synergize together. But I'm just not really sure what that is and what that looks like yet,
I'm wondering if maybe it's something like a taunt druid or something, because I'm thinking the best minions you're going to get with low attack are going to have super high health, right? So if you could
maybe
play this maybe with like a Hadronox, I don't know.
See, I don't know though. I feel like if you're already playing Taunt Druid, you're already playing the 8-cost guy who's a 3/5 who recruits 2 4-cost minions, and you're playing Hadronox. Like, I don't know if you also play a 9-drop that recruits 3 other minions. And also, because you're recruiting those 4-cost minions, I don't even think you run 1, 2, and 3 attack minions. I think you, like, the 3-cost guy or the 3-attack guy is like the only one you actually do, right? And then you just recruit him with the other guys anyway. So I don't know. It just seems like maybe you're
already recruiting. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I'm thinking like, let's say you're Paladin, right? You could recruit like Bolvar. You know what I mean? Like maybe if you're Warlock, you can recruit like Blood Queen Lanithel. Like there's like stuff you can do. I don't know. It's just I'm not really sure what that is. It's weird. You can recruit like Tar Lurkers and Tar Lords and Tar Creepers and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, you can really slow things down. Those are what popped into my head as well. But as I don't have any huge combos that pop immediately to my brain other than Hadronox. I'm with you, Joss. That was the first thing that jumped into my head. But Tills, you also bring up some great rain to throw on our parade. Which
well, it's if you were to, although Druid can ramp to it, right? So you could play a lot of 9-cost stuff, obviously. But I'm also wondering how the ordering works, right? Because let's say that it goes it says 1, 2, and 3. Does the 1-cost guy or 1-attack guy essentially come out first? Because let's say you recruited Darkshire Councilman, would he then grow with the 2-attack and 3-attack guy? That's all stuff that I need to kind of see in action before I really. Or Crypt Lord. Let's say I recruited Crypt Lord as my 1-attack guy, right? And then now he gains health on the next 2. You know what I mean?
That's the one I thought of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
there's stuff going on here that I need to see in action before I really can know if this is a good card or not.
Yeah. I mean, Curator draws in the order of the Beast, the Dragon, and then the Murloc, correct?
Sure. I believe so.
I would assume then it would go in the order as written on the card. And that would be really cool if that's what happened.
Well, but does it pull them all out and plop them on the board at the same time, or does it go like 1 plop, 2 plop, 3 plop?
I'm going to guess 1 plop, 2 plop, 3 plop, but that's going to be my guess.
I mean, animation-wise, I'm sure that's what's going to happen. We'll see if that's what happens interaction-wise for cards like Darkshire Councilman. That's a really good point to bring up, Dills. I hadn't thought of that.
Well, and the other thing is, too, if you're talking about 1, 2, and 3, I mean, even if it was cost, if you're talking about these, lower minions, are they the kind of minions that you're going to want buried in your deck? Don't I want to play my 1, 2, and 3 attack guys before turn 9?
Yeah, probably.
You have to stuff the rest of your deck with, 4 attack minions and up to make this guy really do his thing, and then you're maybe passing for your first few turns of the game.
Well, I
don't know.
Well, I mean, that's where the fact that it's attack and not cost is more important, because then you if you're playing Master Oakheart, you want him to pull high value, large mana cards. The question is there a combination of cards that are not only worth it, but also consistent enough where if you drew a few of them, it wouldn't be the end of the world and completely just clog your entire plan.
I wonder if there's some sort of Death Rattle deck, like a N'Zoth deck here, maybe, because I mean, you don't want to recruit anything ever with a battle cry, right? So the more powerful cards are going to be the Death Rattle cards. So
sure, but that's why I'm more thinking you're looking for specific minions that then somehow hit the board and then have end of turn effect style things, right?
End of turn is.
And that's why I'm not really sure there's that combination of 1-attack, 2-attack, and 3-attack that would then flip the board state enough to say 9 mana is worth this, right?
Yeah.
Plus, you gotta think the game has gotten to turn 9 before this even happens. So you've drawn probably some of these. You probably have to have some backups of what these minions might actually be. So there's definitely like something there. It's just, do we have those cards now? Is this only maybe a wild deck that can really pull something off here? Because what if you pulled like some really cool old wild cards that did stuff that what I mean? Like back in the day, it would have been like Warsong Commander as your 2-attack guy or something, and then the 3-attack guy would be everybody get in here, and then all of a sudden you start making patron things happen. Yeah, like that'd be cool stuff, but
disgusting.
Yeah, but now you can't.
One mana left over to Whirlwind.
So,
oh,
yeah.
I think they're just really trying to make me run away with hopes of getting a lot of Alakirs this expansion because of the shaman cards we looked at. Like if you have all your basic totems, you get to summon an Alakir. Master Oakheart has the potential to just bring your Alakir out into battle because of his battle cry, and nothing on Alakir is a battle cry itself, so he gets to attack with Wind Fury right then and there. But yeah, other than that, I mean, other weird things like you could, as of right now, still pull your Jiraxis because he's still not technically a hero card. He's still a minion.
right.
That would be bizarre, and you would not turn into Jiraxis because it's a battle cry.
Yeah, chat's bringing up some interesting
powerful
stuff too. The Warlock 3/9 taunt, the Dragon Hatcher has a 2-attack, and at the end of the turn pulls the dragon out. So I mean, there's something there. It's just I don't know how
change
strong.
some stuff that would be really cool. But yeah.
It could be a total dud, and it could be super amazing.
I'm going into Wild, and I'm putting Bolf Ram Shield in my deck. He's going to come out and take all the damage for me. That's what's going to happen. We've already talked about Marin. As a matter of fact, we've had a chance to play with him. We've already talked about King Togwaggle. On to, I believe in a thing called Love. No, I meant to say the Darkness. This is a 4-mana 20/20. It's all right. Calm down. It starts dormant. So it's like the seed of rogue name. Thank you. Evaporating from my brain as I try to say it. So it starts dormant and just sits there on the board, but it has a battle cry when you play it. It shuffles 3 candles into the enemy deck. When drawn, the darkness awakens.
When all 3 are drawn.
When all 3 are drawn, yeah.
Yes, because why would you specify that on your card text?
The little pod thing changes. So when you have, if after 1 candle's drawn, if you hover over the little dormant darkness pod, then it'll say 2 candles, and then it'll say 1 candle, so you can see the progress.
Yeah. The text updates.
The card is awesome.
As you play it.
Is it good? Don't know, but it's awesome.
I think it's good if Raza Priest keeps going the way it's going. Like anytime that there's one-ofs, it's going to be great in Wild because I went over to Wild and I was playing there for a while and it was great. It was super fun until I hit a certain point and everyone was tryharding with Reno decks. And I was like, I forgot how freaking frustrating Reno is.
Yeah.
So in any world where one-of decks are being played, since this is a neutral card, I think that this is just it's a legendary, it's a one of. I think you just play it to counter that because I mean then eventually you're probably gonna get a 20/20. Like
now I'm gonna disagree, and I see what you're saying, but Beneath the Grounds was a card that when each candle was drawn, you'd get a 4/4, right? So you didn't even have to get to the 3rd candle before you actually got some benefit, and like only one tournament I ever saw someone actually tech it in, and obviously that was a rogue card, so it wasn't like any deck could play it, but it wasn't just like this. I know everyone looks at it and immediately thinks like, oh yeah, we finally screwed Reno and Raza, but the problem is that like the Razakis deck can just kill the 20/20 when it comes out, and it's not a huge deal on them to not be able to play their Kazakis and Raza yet. They have enough tools to kind of keep drawing and do stuff. And so it's just like, I don't know. It's like, it looks that way, but in practicality, Beneath the Grounds didn't end up becoming like this perfect answer to Reno. So I think in the same way, this is going to be a thing like that.
Yeah, but I think that's because it was specifically a rogue card, right? Like, I think if Beneath the Grounds had been neutral in some way, shape, or form, then I
understand that, but I'm just saying, like, even in like rogue decks that wanted to like take it to late game or whatever, like it still was never the answer. So there is definitely going to be some decks that are going to try this, but I think it's not going to be for that reason. It's going to be because you're a deck that can actually eventually summon the 20/20, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's like, I don't want to put a 4-cost do nothing card in just any deck because of Razakis, right? Like I want to have a purpose where the 4-cost do nothing the turn I played it is actually part of my game plan, like not just a tech card against one specific deck.
It does then prevent the it does prevent the whole Raza on 5 Anduin on 8 that feels so bad and makes you die by turn 10.
Yeah, but against every other matchup, doing nothing on turn 4 is going to be bad for you, right? So like that's the problem with it. So it's like, yes, it does do that one thing, but then if the deck that I'm playing can take advantage of it, is that a deck that's then applying enough pressure where them not being able to play Raza is like a problem for them, right? So the way I really see it is, this is like a cool thing for like rogue mill decks, or maybe even Druid tries to mill again, or Mage tries to fatigue or something like that. And then it's like one more kind of roadblock along the way where like, like I have this game plan where I draw the game out, and then at some point I get a 20/20, right? Mm-hmm. And my deck is slow enough and control-y enough that I can afford to spend 4 mana to do nothing one turn, right?
There's, Control Warrior seems to be getting a lot of tools, and the Warlock went away for like 2 months and it's back again, and those are both, classes that normally go to fatigue. So I think it could be good. I think it could have some places. And it has the bonus of no more Raza Priest.
I don't think it's going to stop Raza Priest. I don't think enough people are going to be able to take advantage of this, that it's like a Raza tech thing, right? Like it's just some decks will use it, and the Raza's gonna be like, damn. And they're like, well, I guess I gotta wait forever until I finally play my Raza and my combo. But they're gonna like draw a bunch, and then they're just gonna save the DK or save like their Shadow or Death, and then the 20/20 is gonna, awaken, and they're gonna be like, all right, it's dead. Cool, now let's do my thing, right?
I vote.
That's how I see it playing out anyway.
So wait and see.
I vote bad but fun.
Yeah, bad but fun. I was texting with Josh last night, and I was saying this is like going to be one of the first decks I'm gonna try because it just looks too fun, right? Not to try, like to just have this ominous thing on the board. Just be eventually you're gonna draw them candles, and I'm gonna smash your face. But the problem too is like when it actually awakens, if it awakens on your turn, like let's say you
so if you mill
make them draw, it doesn't get to attack. It's got no charge, right? So. Yeah, if you can get it to awaken on their turn, and then and then you can like hit them on the next turn, and then they can't kill it, then you probably win. But similar to like making Blood of the Ancient and then summoning the Ancient one, it's like, oh my god, a 30/30 would be sweet, but in practicality, it doesn't actually work that well.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a little bit trickier though. But anyways, what I was going to say is that I'm glad that they're experimenting a little bit more with this whole dormant thing. I like the idea of things that are on the board that are persistent through like a Twisting Nether. Like even if you do something that destroys all minions, this isn't a minion, it's a dormant whatever. So you can't actually interact with it. And I really like that idea. So I want to see them do more things like this, or like the Warlock Portal, or like Sherazin, just anything that is on the board but not necessarily active, I think is a really cool idea.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for the Warlock Portal, which would bring the Warlock Portal and so Sherazin's already been playable. That's been, I think, to this date, the only successful dormant or permanent, whatever terminology you want to use. I think Sherazin's the only successful card, at least in a meta sense, that we've had.
And even now, it's not anymore.
Right.
So,
one's sad face.
It had its day. It's fine.
For a little bit. And then we realized, bone marrying on 7 was way better than trying to miracle people. So.
Yes. Fair enough. But
by the way, in another deck I want to try on Thursday, I'm going to Dead Man's Hand this bad boy.
Ooh.
And I'm going to try to get a couple of them on the board with 6, 9, 12 candles in my opponent's deck. Because if I'm reading it correctly, I just need to draw 3 of those candles, and if I have 3 or 4 of them on the board, they will all awaken.
Yeah, exactly.
On 3 candles once they're on the board. Yeah.
Although I wonder, it's probably once they're on the board. So if you play a darkness, draw a candle, play another darkness, draw a candle.
One will be at 1 candle and one will be at 0.
One at 2. Yeah.
Exactly. Because the way that the spellstones work, if I had one and then I drew a second one, but I'd already activated the first one, one's at regular and one's at lesser still, right? So
right.
I would assume it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, you would need to find some perfect storm where you were able to load up multiple darknesses on the same turn if you wanted them to be at the same candle pip.
Yeah. The beauty of it though too is Dead Man's Hand Warrior, they're getting a bunch of cool new control tools, and they're the kind of deck that could fatigue you and take you to the long game, right? So I think that could be fun.
Yeah.
You could
I'm
also,
thinking
you know,
Mill
not
Rogue,
a
I'm
lot
thinking Dead Man's Hand, I'm thinking
Yeah.
Druid.
I know not a lot of people want to go over to Wild unless you're specifically a Wild player on day one of an expansion, but this guy with Bran too would be great, right?
Oh yeah, he'll
'Cause
put 6
'cause he'll
candles
put
in, right?
Double-
candles
So,
in- yeah. So then
Yeah,
you have
come
twice
alive
the
easier.
chance to draw. Yeah.
Well, Dragon Hatcher is next. We should probably move on from the second card we talked about today. Dragon Hatcher is a 9-mana 2/4 epic neutral minion that has at the end of your turn, recruit a dragon. So this is what we talked about just earlier, or mentioned when we were discussing Master Oakheart.
I mean, if you pay 9 for Ysera anyway,
Why wouldn't you just play Ysera?
but why wouldn't you play a 2/4 on top of that, right? That then they have to kill the 2/4, and then they're like, damn, but I want to kill the Ysera, but I have to kill this 2/4. I don't know. It seems to me like his card isn't that great, but it causes problems, right? And there's certain decks that might actually be able to make something out of this, you know? Kibler was like, I remember watching the Omnistone or Omnislash or whatever that thing is. They were talking about it, and everyone else was like, this is garbage. And Kibler was like, well, think about what's really going to happen when I play this and a Ysera or a Deathwing comes out. You're going to say, like the opponent's going to be like, well, damn, I got to kill everything, I guess, you know? And that might be a problem for them. So I don't know. It could cause problems. Just the deck is, I don't know. The deck is funky.
This is the only type. This card could only exist in a post Kobolds and Catacombs world, in a post Recruit world. This is the type of card that costs so much and its stats are so terrible that in any other set where Recruit did not exist, yes, we look at this, we go crap and move on.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
we're getting Recruit. You can build heavy decks in theory. At least that's seems to be the tunnel they're leading us down for Kobold and Catacombs. And if it turns out to be successful, cards like Dragon Hatcher at least stand a chance. I'm not saying that Recruit could still be a success and Dragon Hatcher could still be bad. That is definitely a possibility, but I'm hopeful. This is the type of card that, because of Recruit, I look at and go, well, maybe, because if I recruit this happens at the end.
I mean, they also added Sleepy Dragon, right? And so that's kind of the thing. If there wasn't a giant new dragon, then there's no way. There's not enough existing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for this one, at the end of your turn, recruit a dragon. That means that Ysera, her at the end of your turn thing won't trigger because your end of turn has already happened. So that's another thing to consider too, right? You're not going to get your Ysera card off of this minion.
That is an assumption I've been making, but I have not seen confirmed.
I'm pretty sure it's the same reason why, like, when you would pull, like, Rag from What's-His-Face, they wouldn't go off.
Oh, Yashiraj?
Yeah, from Yashiraj. It's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, you know, What's-His-Face?
Only one end of turn
face.
thing will go off because basically your end of turn now happened already. So yeah.
Right, exactly.
Ysera's wouldn't happen, but you'd still get a 4/12 body that they have to kill.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
and if it stuck around one turn, you'd get a card. I don't know. I still feel like Ysera would be fine. Deathwing would be fine. Deathwing Dragon Lord would be fine.
Deathwing would be
Sleepy
great.
Dragon would be fine. Like, there's lots of things that would be totally fine.
Yeah.
So it's a card that I'm intrigued by, and a lot of people are just crapping all over it without really kind of thinking about that scenario if it happens, what that's really going to look like for your opponent. Like, your opponent might just be like, what do I do? Like, I have to kill this 2/4, but I have to kill this Ysera, but I only have, X amount of mana, and some of my spells don't do that. It's like, yeah, it's going to put them in a tough position no matter what. So,
Yeah.
So, other than Dragon Priest, are there any other classes that we think might make real good use of dragons going forward? Like, are there any dragon decks out there that aren't priests?
well, Big Druid makes use of dragons, but not necessarily for their synergy, just because each of these dragons is awesome, right? So
Yeah.
Right, but if we're now getting a 9-mana card that recruits a dragon, we also got a bigger dragon that we haven't talked about yet. Maybe Druid considers that because you've got two big
and there's
cards.
also Primordial Drake already, so there's two ways to put big walls up in front of this thing. So
Yeah, true.
there's something there. I just don't know if it's actually good enough. And also the meta has to be slow enough that turn 9 is a thing that happens often. So
I feel like I've felt that way with this set a lot. That it's like all of this seems really powerful, but also really like late game, like
Yeah, it's
late,
super slow.
mid, late game, like not necessarily early stuff. So if aggro is still really popular, I don't know if we're going to get to any of these super cool, super powerful things.
It's the big wait and see, right? Again, it comes
Yeah.
back to recruit. We're going to have to see how successful recruit is. If it goes the route of inspire, then I think a lot of these cards are dead on arrival.
Yeah. But there is a lot of AoE being added. There's, not a lot of super sweet aggro tools that I've seen so far. There's maybe a couple. So aggro might be struggling. And if that's the case, then these big late game things, you're going to have to do something as powerful as the other guy. And maybe recruiting dragons and maybe doing it again. Like if you automatically do it once. If you do it a second time, that's really good, right? Like, and how often is it going to happen a second time? Probably less than 50%, but I don't know. Just if you get a 9-cost dragon, it's basically you played a 2/4 for free,
Right?
know? So it's not the worst thing to have. And you drew it essentially. You drew it out of your deck and played it. So it's like it wasn't even in your hand. It wasn't even a resource at the time. It's like almost like here's more ways to make sure I draw my big ass dragons, right?
Yeah. My question comes down to how, if I'm banking on recruiting out Dragon Hatcher so that Dragon Hatcher recruits out a big dragon, how bad is it for me when I draw Dragon Hatcher? That's my question. So let's move on to Corridor Creepers, the 7-mana 5/5 epic neutral beast that's going to cost 1 less whenever a minion dies while it is in your hand. And it needs a handkerchief. This thing is spitting. It's disgusting.
Yeah, so I mean, more beasts for Hunter. It's big-ish. I mean, you could do something like unleash the hounds and kill all your little hounds, and then this becomes essentially close to free. But I don't know. It's a lot of
card
conditions. Yeah. Well, and yeah, you were talking too about Arena, how like there's not a whole lot of really great like epic things. So does this help with the drafting of epic cards? Like, will this make the epic draft
this is a
better?
good epic for Arena because in Constructed you're often just going to play a 5/5 no matter how cheap it really is, just for that doesn't do anything most of the time. And this is going to be hard to get. Like, there's a 4/4 that becomes free when you play a spell, right? Arcane Tyrant. You play a spell that costs more than 5.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
That's pretty easy to do, right? That's not that hard. But getting 7 minions to die and then getting a free 5/5 is pretty hard. So, but in Arena, if you could get this down to 4 with 3 minions that have died, like all of a sudden, like that's pretty good value. So, that just seems to be where this card lands. You're also going to find it a lot of times where people are going to be getting this card like with random beast effects, and like in Constructed where I see this happening is random beast effects and Deathstalker Rexar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like see this sometimes, but
Well, wait, hang on. Deathstalker Rexar can't, right? Because it's too expensive.
oh, you're right. Yeah, it's only 5
Deathstalker Rexar are
more.
only
Oh,
5,
you're right.
5 or
Yes,
less.
that's never
Yeah,
gonna
so
happen.
it won't even. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
this
only
effect
from
is-
random beast effects then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all minions, so it's not like you have to kill your own minions only. So I don't know. Maybe you can get it cheap pretty quick, but you have to draw it and then have it. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like an Arena card to me.
Yeah, there's too many caveats for me to be excited about this in a constructed environment.
Yeah. And again, it's like it doesn't have any useful effect when it hits, right? So it's just a minion for cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
comes
You just want to get out of 5/5 for cheap, and like you brought up Arcane Tyrant, so yeah, I'm not stoked about Corridor Creeper.
And Arcane Tyrant has the Elemental tag, which is a little more useful for Mage than Beast tag is for Hunter, especially when there's other awesome beasts already. Like, this isn't awesome enough, I don't think. So
Right. When the turn before this, you're dropping a Savannah High Man if you don't get the discount on this. I don't know.
you'd never play this on turn 7,
Yeah.
right? Like you'd try to play it on like turn 4.
Yeah.
That would be the goal.
It's just not that thrilling. Because what happens if you already expended your Unleash the Hounds, right? And this gets into your hand late game. How much control do you have left finding this late in the game to really discount it? But
yeah, I just don't see it taking up a card slot. Like it's not terrible if you make it for cheap, but it's just like I have 30 card slots. Does this make it? No, I don't think so.
no. No, but I have a feeling at least one of us will be really excited about the next card. Shimmering Courser is next. It's a 4-mana 3/3 epic neutral beast. It's also a freaking unicorn, and it reads, only you can target this with spells and hero powers. And Day 9's completely right. I just want to start reading the freaking Smokey the Bear tagline anytime I read this card.
2 copies, gold, day 1.
Now, gold
This card
epics
is
cost as
amazeballs.
much as legendaries, right? It's
I
like
don't even
1600
care.
dust.
Don't stop it. I don't care.
Also,
Now, it
she's
is actually a kind of a useful card, though, because we saw it used in the buff deck, and, you put your buffs on it, and they can't kill it with spells, and that's pretty cool. So I see it being not a bad card.
I don't know how good that buff deck's
It's
going to...
amazing, okay?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Not a bad. It's amazeball.
All right, and this one can be drawn by Deathstalker Rexar, right? So
Yes.
you can
Yes,
give
it is a
you
beast.
can give your zombies, only you can target them with spells and hero powers. Not bad.
Yep.
Yeah. So all that, yes, cool. I don't know how great that like balls to the wall buff deck is going to be out in the real world when Reels is not your opponent and being a gentleman. They seem to...
Well, it wasn't good before, but it's got some new tools. It's got
Right.
some new tricks in the bag, right? So it's definitely better than it was.
I agree.
Also, this would be good in just like hand buff without that whole thing, right? Just making
Yes.
this a bigger thing that can't be killed with spells.
Mhm.
So it's like it's just a thing that adds cool new tools. And so I don't know. I think with the new legendary, I think with this card, I think with a few other things that Shaman or Paladin are getting, I don't know, man. That deck might be something now. It wasn't before for sure, but the what's the Potion of Heroism is another like super awesome spell that you can cast on things. So there's stuff here now.
Joss, how are you going to lose your mind if there's a reference to the Year of the Unicorn in the flavor text of this card once you get it in your collection?
Oh, this is our first tease for the next Hearthstone year, people. It's happening. Next year, 2018, is going to be the Year of the Unicorn because it will be magical. It's happening.
Illuminati confirmed. Okay, let's talk about Void Ripper. 3-mana, 3/3 epic neutral demon with a battle cry that swaps the attack and health of all other minions. It doesn't even have to read all other minions. It can swap its own damn health. It's a 3/3. Who cares?
It has built-in confuse, right?
Yes. Confuse the minion.
Yeah. So this goes in Confuse Priest like instantly.
Oh yeah. I think it's a cool card. I don't see myself immediately running to throw it in constructed decks, but it's 3/3 that can do some pretty crazy stuff. So I'm definitely going to find myself drafting it in Arena.
Yeah, it's a demon, right? So you'll get it sometimes from Kazakus spells, maybe, if you ever pick
Right.
that thing. But yeah, it'll kill boards full of totems. It'll allow you to make trades you couldn't have made. I don't know. It's got some uses. I think in Arena for sure, because in Arena there's a lot of weird board states that come up, and this definitely can just be a huge utility minion at certain times. So I like this card a lot in Arena. I just don't know. Constructed boards are going to have to somehow fit into this in enough situations, right? That's probably not the case.
Yeah. Confuse Priest, and that's about it for me. Furbolg Mossbinder is next. It's a 5-mana 1/1 rare neutral minion with a battle cry that transforms a friendly minion into a 6/6 elemental. This is maximum Dirty Rat Sadness. Also, Anxiety if you have any recruit cards in your deck that has the potential to pull a 5-drop.
Yeah. I don't know about this one. I mean, possibly just Shaman, because then you can turn your totems into 6/6s, or possibly Paladin. Again, same thing. You can turn your 1/1s into 6/6s. I don't think like the only ones, I guess Shaman, the Elemental Shaman is viable, but yeah. I mean, the only elemental deck that I'm super excited about is Mage, and I don't think Mage can really make use of this. So I don't know. And yeah, do you want to have a 5-mana 1/1?
Yeah, in a world where Dirty Rat still sees play right now, it's mildly concerning. And on top of that, I mean, it's cool, but it's only good if you already have a minion on board that is not already large, either A, larger than a 6/6, B, doesn't have a death rattle that you're particularly you care about, or some type of aura effect or anything that once you transform it will lose that type of an effect. So yeah, my brain immediately goes to Paladin as well. But this seems to be one of the more anxiety creating cards.
Well, I
with
mean,
Recruit
it's
coming
very
in.
much like Doppelgangster, right? Like, so it will evolve into a 6-drop, then the 6/6 elemental will evolve. I imagine that's a 6 cost, so
Yeah.
then it would evolve into a 7-drop. So I mean, like, it could find room in Evolved Shaman, but that would kind of be my big thing. That's where I think Shaman makes use of this card. Outside of Shaman, I don't really think it has another place except for potentially maybe Paladin. But again, like Paladin, I don't know where I'd find room for 2 of these cards, you know, like.
Yeah, this card goes in 0 decks. 0. I know you're trying, but no,
I'm
it goes in
trying
0
so
decks.
hard, Dills. I'm trying.
Trying to give it
Like,
the time
why
of
does,
day.
Why does Shaman need another 5-cost evolved thing? They
Yeah.
have Doppelgangster, right? Like,
Just
they don't
to
need
just
this.
to skip, because you could take a totem to like so a 1-mana
Sure.
totem up to a 6-mana thing. So
Yeah.
you know you get a skip.
If anything, this is just scary when you evolve a 4-mana minion. That's what this is.
But the thing is like, if we were gonna play Furlbog Mossbinder, then we'd already be seeing people play the 1/1 that summons a 6/6 ogre. Like, but we don't. This actually needs a minion on board before it turns something into a 6/6.
True.
So it loses whatever stats it already had, then makes a 6/6, and like for 1 more mana, we've already had a card that does like basically the same thing. It doesn't even need a minion on board, and no one ever played it in Constructed.
I forgot about that card, Dills.
So it's like this card is just infinitely worse than that one, and yeah, it's just not going to see play at all.
All right. Well, that means it's time for even Dragonsmith.
Although you will evolve into it sometimes, and that's going to suck for you, by the way.
I already mentioned that. Thank you.
Yes.
Even Dragonsmith is next. It's a 4-mana 3/4 rare neutral dragon with a battle cry that reduces the cost of a random weapon in your hand by 2. There's more exciting things you
Interesting,
can do with 4
but-
mana.
Yeah.
No wonder they had to make Fiery War Axe cost more. Design space.
Well, there's some pretty expensive legendary weapons out there, so if you can get those to be cheaper and play them earlier, then yeah, I could see that. But you have to play an understated minion to do it, and
Yeah.
and also like Priest is the dragon-y class, and they don't play. You know, I mean, their Dragon Soul's not that expensive to begin with, right? So, I'm not really sure. I don't think so. I don't think there's a lot of like huge,
Could we?
like just weapon-based decks. This
I was
year.
going to say, what about like would Dragon Warrior make a comeback? Would that be a thing?
I don't think they have enough, like, because that was like a tempo deck, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like Warrior is going to be Control Warrior, Dead Man's Handy, super slow, kill everything with my, amazing new armor whirlwind thing.
True. Yeah. Oh my
You know,
god,
it's
that's
like, yeah.
disgusting. We haven't even talked about that yet.
Sure.
But
But yeah, there's not enough like other tools in just Warrior with dragons anymore. And the reason why they were popular in the first place was because it was like aggro-y weapons, tempo-based stuff, and then battle cries of, some specific minions that actually help them control the board. Now
Yeah.
they don't really have any of those tools, so
I don't even think if you went with a recruit warrior that was pulling out some big dragon, I don't even think in that scenario you'd be that excited about this either because it's smaller. And in that scenario, I don't think you'd be running a lot of dragon synergy. You'd just be really weighing the top end of your curve down. So yeah, I
don't know. On turn 4, you don't want to play a 3/4. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But on turn 4, do you want to play a Kobold Monk? It's a 4-mana 3/6 rare neutral, and your hero can't be targeted by spells or hero powers when he's alive, and he looks stylish while he's doing
it's
it.
a cool card
and he's
because it's
so
kind of like
fancy.
yeah. Kind of
that
like
photo.
it's spell ice block, right? So if mage does become a thing, this is a way to just say nope, you can't kill me this turn, and that's cool.
Unless they're doing the whole infinite fireballs thing, then they just throw a fireball.
Well, then they
into
kill
it.
the monk
Yeah.
first, and yeah, exactly.
That's
There's no
it.
way to stop that. But well, I guess there's eye for an eye, and then there's ice block yourself. But but it's a 4-mana 3/6. That's a really good stat line. So you're definitely going to see this all the time in Arena for sure. But again, in Constructed, probably not. It's a cool effect, but probably not. I saw some people in on Twitch or no on Reddit, being like, "Man, why didn't they make this have 4 attack?" And I'm like, "What friggin' 4/6 for 4 are you thinking of right now? That this is like not powerful enough for you? What?" It's like 4 mana 4/6. Like, no, they're
It
not just gonna
also
make
does
that
something.
and give it an ability. Like that would have like a something bad on its text. So I don't know. People are crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
Hashtag Reddit balance.
Yeah, Kobold Monk, cool card, as I drop a pen and make a ton of noise on the podcast. Shrieking Shroom is next. There are a lot of mushroom cards that have been revealed. This is a 3-mana 1/2 rare neutral, and at the end of your turn, it summons a random 1-cost minion. So
This, I think, is one of the contenders for cutest card. It's adorable.
Oh, it is.
This is way cuter than the whatchamacallit thing, the
Gibberer.
Furby or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. This could possibly be something you could use in an Evolved Shaman, right? Because, you get 2 minions in one, and then you evolve one into a 4 and one into a 2. It's not terrible, but probably. And it's like, it's an engine. It's an infinite engine, right? Like we see like the 0/3 that keeps summoning 1/1s be used.
Mhm.
They're not totems, they're not anything specific, but they could be really cool. But I think it's mostly, again, an arena card. But if it exists somewhere, it's probably Evolved Shaman.
Well, and it does have the end of your turn effect, and we do have a a neutral that makes that happen twice, right? So you could maybe just build, like we've had Death Rattle decks. Can we have just end of your turn decks?
Probably not, because the Jakari, what is it? The Jakari something
I can't remember.
is just really weak, and it's too easy to kill. So I think that's probably the problem there. Is it the Jakari Enchanter, I believe is what it is? Yeah. 3 mana 1/5. So yeah, it's just like, and again, too, this would be like something you do on turn 6. So, but like, it's, even if it only goes off the one time, it's 2 bodies and it's not terrible. I mean, you're probably getting about 3/3/3/4 worth of stuff out of it, right? So, but sometimes the one cost minion is going to suck. Sometimes it's going to be like an Enchanted Raven and you're going to be stoked.
Yeah. Scorpomatic's up next. This is a 2-mana 1/2 rare neutral mech. Oh my goodness, guys, there's a mech in this set. Wow.
We haven't had mechs for a really long time.
No, it has been a very long time. This Scorpomatic also has a battle cry that destroys a minion with 1 or less attack. Sorry, Shrieking Shroom.
Doomsayer. Doomsayer is the first thing that comes to mind, but there's already ways to kill that. Like, I'd rather just play a Kodo, because then I open my range up by quite a bit, and I get a better body. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very specific.
I was gonna say, I
less
feel like
attack minion.
Yeah, I feel like this is something that you might put in like a super aggro deck where if the Doomsayer goes off on 2, it does wreck your whole plan. So, this way you have a way to get around them playing a Doomsayer and trying to stop your flooding of the board. So maybe there.
Yeah, maybe. I think you're probably using it to kill your own minions more than you're relying on opponents to be playing valuable 1 attack or less minions, right? So
At least it doesn't get buffed. At least it doesn't say destroy a minion with 1 or less attack, gain +1/+1 or something.
Yeah. Oh, so
then it would just be a crab.
You're thinking like egg decks, Stills?
Yeah, like egg decks and stuff like that. Yeah. That's probably really where it goes, because in Constructed you can't, like, yeah, okay, you can say, oh my god, Acolytes and oh my god, Doomsayers and blah blah. Like, I see those all the time, but sometimes you're gonna be playing against a deck that runs none of this, right? So, and it's just going to be a terrible card in that particular situation. So I don't think you could play it in a deck where you're trying to tech against some specific thing. You're going to be killing your own guys with this.
Yeah, and there's little to, and in Standard, there's little to no mech synergy. There's no mech synergy in Standard, right?
No, it's all
Not
in
anymore, no.
Wild.
But in Wild there is.
Yeah.
But I don't think you ever care about its mech synergy either. Like, this doesn't, I don't think, ever go in a mech deck.
Well, like I was thinking of back when we saw Galaka Crawler, and we're just like, oh, first of all, damn it, and also not going to work. And turns out it absolutely did work, because there's enough pirates, and for some of the decks that run it, beast synergies, fine. Why not include an extra beast? So even if you don't get to kill a pirate with it, you can still make something happen with it. So with the Scorpomatic being a mech, if you don't destroy a minion, you're playing a 1/2 for 2. So it's just
and it's just such a small range that the Kodo is just still so much more safe, and the Kodo still doesn't really see that much play, right? So, you could talk about, making something follows the rules and then Kodoing it, or you could do the same with Scorpomatic, but I think I'd rather open up my range by like another 200 cards or something like that than play this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Gravel Snout Knight. Up there for my favorite card art. This dude's riding a freaking mole. It's a 1-mana 2/3 rare neutral minion with a battle cry that summons a random 1-cost minion for your opponent.
I don't think it's enough extra stats for that battle cry.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. I'd rather give them that health that Zombie Chow used to than give them a 1-cost minion. So
yeah,
probably not going to see a lot of play.
Yeah, because then you pass turn and they're able to do something with that 1-cost minion that you gave them if you didn't deal with it. So I'm going to get it in Arena. I don't think I'm going to be stoked about it, though.
Yeah, I'm going to try to avoid it in Arena, too. I don't know. It's like the reason for playing the 1-mana 2/3 is that then you kill their 1-cost minion or their 2-cost minion and you're ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're giving them a 1-cost minion, you might not be ahead after that. So
yeah. Well, Sleepy Dragon is next. We have alluded to this card. This is a 9-mana 4/12 common neutral dragon that also has taunt. This is one of the most bare bones cards we're going to discuss today. Also, I am in love with the art for this card.
it's a cool card, and we needed a big dragon. We needed a big old giant booty dragon to go into this recruit set, and here it is. So
he has a lot of booty.
Yeah, he does. He's sitting all over that booty. I mean, I like this card. I think it was a needed card in this set. You won't really play it by itself. It's only going to be in decks where you can cheat it out, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. We talked about, I've already forgotten the damn name of the Dragon Hatcher. This is what you want to try and snag with the Dragon Hatcher, in addition to the other big dragons that already exist in the game. Good luck. I'm going to try it.
Yeah. There's going to be ways to get this out, and then when you do, it's going to be cool, because 4/12s are hard to kill, man. They're really hard to kill. And sometimes I've seen people playing big druid that's not even running a bunch of spells, and they're just playing Malagos because they're like, yeah, it's a 4/12. Like, it's just people can't kill it. So here you go. Here's another one of those.
Yep. Hard to kill, even for priests, because of that 4 attack. Bring it on. Violet Worm is next. It's an 8-mana 7/7 common neutral beast with a death rattle that summons 7/1/1 grubs. The implications
like
of that from a roleplay perspective disgust me.
Do we know? I would imagine they are, but
I don't know if that's been confirmed.
I did not see the token earlier, and it looks like the token is still not up.
Okay. I would guess beasts, but none of that really matters. But I think this is a really good arena card. Really, really good arena card. I think you're going to draft this almost every time you see it. Like Sated Threshodon was a card that was picked a lot, and that's 7 cost 5/7 that summons 3. So for 1 more mana, I get more attack, and I get more dudes that come out afterwards. Like, hell yeah. I'm all in on this. So definitely there. No, nowhere else. Nowhere else.
Yep. That's where I'm thinking as well.
So if the 1/1s are beasts, would this be one of the ones that you put in your hunter deck that pulls out, like, recruits the big dude?
The recruit beasts and stuff? Possibly, but sometimes you're going to draw it and have to play it for 8, right? You're not going to be happy about that. So, but yeah, recruiting this would be great for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it would be the complete end of the world if you had to play this for the 8 mana, because you're getting 7/7. I think you're onto something, Joss.
Just a thought.
It's also
I'm trying to find the ways to play all of these cards that are kind of mediocre.
It also could be the death rattle that you want to copy with that new 5 cost guy, right? Or 6 cost, the Seeping Oozling. Hold on. Seeping Oozling. There you go. It gains the death rattle of a minion in your deck. So there you go.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah. All right. All good thoughts. Our next card, oh man, is on a bad shroom trip. This is a 5-mana 2/2 common neutral minion, the Fungal Mancer, and his battle cry gives adjacent minions +2/+2. And I hope they I hope they regret the decision afterwards. This is not the kind of guy I want to hang out with.
Yeah, the art looks. There's some cards where the art looks so different from the other ones, right?
Mm.
Like I feel like I didn't get a full res version of this or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just pixelated, so this is probably a screen grab.
Very weird.
We probably haven't.
I'm sure that's
gotten
not what it
official art.
actually looks like.
Right.
This card is another really good arena card, I think, because that's the situation where 2 minions are more likely to be alive than constructed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Its body sucks, but think about, Defender of Argus still sees quite a bit of play in arena.
Yep.
Not a lot in constructed, and obviously the taunt matters quite a bit in constructed when you're trying to stop, aggro and stuff like that, and this doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're getting like 6/6 worth of stats that 4/4 of it has charge in a lot of situations. So yeah, probably an arena card.
Yeah. That I think we can wrap it up there. Unless Joss, do you have some
Nope.
actual? Last one was plausible. Do you have another plausible idea for this card?
Nope.
All right. Sounds sounds about right to me as well. Before we move on, we have another sponsor to thank today. Away Luggage is back and sponsoring this episode of The Angry Chicken, and you can find that by going to awaytravel.com/TAC. You should definitely go check out their offerings because, as we mentioned before, their carry-on and their aptly named bigger carry-on both have internal batteries for charging your devices. So if you're like us and when you're traveling, you're usually being antisocial and wearing the battery out of your devices playing Hearthstone, or maybe your Nintendo Switch, you'll have a way to charge it, and you won't have to get shoulder to shoulder with somebody at that airport terminal. You can just plug right in to your carry-on luggage. They also come with TSA-approved combination locks, interior pressure systems where you can smoosh the air out, which I'm stealing that from Jocelyn. It's a smooshing technology.
it's like
Patented
high-level
smoosh
smooshing technology.
Yeah. Free shipping within the 48 lower states, a 100-day return policy, and a lifetime warranty. All three of us now have Away carry-ons. I just recently used mine for Thanksgiving, for just driving the other coast, and even then I was super jazzed with it. It is the single nicest piece of luggage I have ever owned.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sad. You guys should have
Crazy.
seen my old luggage.
My mom saw mine over the weekend.
Travel. You should just get one of these.
Yeah.
Just because, you should be like that weird kid at school who brought a suitcase. To do that, like, in life. Just carry your whatever you need.
Life.
Like, forget purses and backpacks and stuff. Just get your little away luggage, and just walk around with that. And then you get to charge your phone. It's fantastic.
Away should change the tagline to that. They should just be that weird person that brings luggage to school. Away luggage.
I mean, come on, every school had one of those, right? Like the kid who didn't have a backpack, he had like a suitcase.
Well, it's a roller backpack.
Briefcase.
It's a roller backpack, yeah.
No, it was a suitcase. But, I always hung out with that kid, just FYI. Because he always had like magic cards in there. So
It was Pokemon cards for us, and eventually our school banned them. Banned the Pokemon cards.
It was Pogs for me.
Oh, well, that's what it was when I was like young. And then as I was getting closer to high school, it was Pokemon cards.
Well, either that or they had a Game Boy in there. They had something fun, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, a reason you wanted to hang out with that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of making fun of them because they had a Star Wars shirt. This is not personal at all.
Yeah.
It's not.
They might have peed their pants, but they still had fun stuff in there.
Oh.
I've like invented some kid. This is like the ideal
Yeah.
child away luggage user, apparently.
Well, you can be the weird kid that brings luggage to school, or you can be the normal adult who's traveling correct and bring your away luggage with you. Check them out at
You
Away
could be
Travel.
the coolest adult in the airport, or the weird kid in your high school.
Check it out over at awaytravel.com/TAC and use the code TAC at checkout. That is TAC. One more time for $20 off your order. We thank Away Travel for supporting this episode. Now let's get back into it by talking about the troll Gloom Eater. Wait, that's not next. What am I doing? We haven't talked about Green Jelly.
Green Jelly.
Green Jelly is next. There's so many damn cards. So Green Jelly is a 5-mana 3/3 common neutral minion that reads, at the end of your turn, summon a 1/2 ooze with taunt.
Like Hogger.
Yeah, like a little hogger.
He's a little.
Also,
little
it's a cool reference to an old band from my youth.
Oh,
Is
They
it?
used to be called Green Jello, and then they had to they were forced to change the name to Green Jelly. You don't remember Three Little Pigs? Oh, Jocelyn that definitely doesn't know. Garrett, you might remember that.
I was like, why are we even having this
The
conversation?
little pig, let me in. You remember that song?
I actually
Anybody?
do not. I vaguely remember the band Green Jelly because every time I was at my local store trying to find a used copy of a Green Day album, I always accidentally
You'd have to
stumbled
go
across
past
them.
Green Jelly to get to the Green Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were pretty awesome. This card, however, not so awesome. I don't think it's going to see much play. But cool art. It's a giant like jelly monster coming down, is going to like kill some kobolds. So love it.
Yeah, it's a neat card. Again, it's something I won't be sad to have to take in Arena, but I don't think I'm rushing to include it in a archetype that currently exists.
Yeah, Arena would be. You'll definitely draft this. It's common, and you'll essentially get 5 mana, 4/5, but 1/2 as taunt, and if it lives again, then you could continue to like protect important things. So.
Right. There's the chance of additional value. So if it lives 1 turn, then you're feeling good, and if it lives beyond that, you're feeling great. Now we're on to the Tra Gloom Eater, a 5 mana 1/5 common neutral minion with taunt and poisonous.
You can kill it with a Scorpomatic.
Yeah.
Oh, the way you said that.
It seems a little expensive, I think.
Yeah. Well, isn't there a 5 mana 2/5 poisonous guy without taunt from the last set? Yeah. I don't know.
From
Just
the last
adding
set or
taunt, is that
from
enough?
Ungoro?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's from Ungoro. Yeah. Is adding taunt like enough to make this? I mean, the ideal thing is that it ends up killing 2 things, but I don't know how often that's really going to happen. Yeah, Venomancer. Thank you, Hachikumo in the chat. Yeah, that card never saw any constructed play, but you would pick it sometimes in Arena, and sometimes it'd be really annoying. So, again, probably Arena.
Yeah, this is Arena only card or budget decks. Corrosive Sludge is up next. A 5 mana 5/5 common neutral minion with a battle cry that destroys your opponent's weapons. So it's just a bigger Swamp Ooze. I'd rather just have Swamp Ooze.
I think I still like the acidic Swamp Ooze or the Harrison Jones. I'd rather have the Harrison Jones, honestly. I'd rather have 1 less health and the ability to draw cards.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Or gain armor. Yeah, one way or the other. They're doing something on top of the destroy. So
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, like if you're looking at the oozes, they're cheaper, right? So they're easier to fit in with other things you want to do in later turns when all the weapons are going to be coming out. But I think absolutely you're going to be using some sort of destroying opponents' weapons tech in this expansion, just because there's so many weapons, right? Every single class has legendary weapon, not to mention Medivh, not to mention all the weapons that already existed. So I think everyone's going to be playing weapon removal. This is just one more. It's a common if you, for some reason, don't have Harrison or you don't have one of the other oozes. It just gives you more options.
That's a good point, actually, to bring up. It's a good thing this is included and it's in the common slot. So if, say, you're just picking up Hearthstone with this expansion and weapons do take off, you're not sitting there being like, I don't have a way to remove weapons because, of course, I don't have Harrison. What's wrong with you? I don't start the game with that much.
And the other ooze was an epic, I think.
Epic,
3 mana one? Yeah.
Yeah, so this one's common. It's easy to craft. It's going to give everybody the ability to remove things if they don't have it in some other way. So,
yeah. Yep. Although, again, this between the acidic Swamp Ooze, if those are your only options, go with the acidic because, again, the low mana cost. You care more about removing the weapon than the ooze itself.
Yeah.
Cursed Disciple's up next. A 4 mana 5/1 common neutral minion with a death rattle that summons a 5/1 Revenant. If you watched the stream, you saw a lot of this card because Day 9 just had to finish that Jungle Giants quest. Had to. Saw a lot in that dungeon run. So
this is a Magma Rager inside of a Magma Rager.
Yep.
And I don't think even 1 mana for 1 more Magma Rager makes this at all viable. I don't think.
I don't think so.
What about it in a Zoth deck?
No.
Nah.
No.
Then you get 4 mana Magma Ragers for the cost of...
I think you will pick this in Arena sometimes just because they have to kill it twice, and like a lot of times the second time you can you probably get value out of it, like the 5/1 that comes out. So, people are saying pretty good with Steward of Darkshire. Yeah, okay, sure.
Hobgoblin in Wild.
No, Hobgoblin's the
Oh
other
no,
way.
he's attack. Right.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's attack.
Yep, attack, not health, sadly, because that would be
I
amazing.
So yeah, it's just I don't know. It's not a good constructed card, but I think in Arena sometimes I will look at my 3 choices and this will be the best one.
You're not going to be happy about that choice, though, because that means those other 2 ones were stinky choices. Shroom Brewer is next. Shroom Brewer. It's a 4-mana 4/4 neutral common minion. And it's got a battle cry that restores 4 health.
This is definitely going to be a card that sees play in decks that just need healing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Classes that, like, a lot of times we've seen Earthen Ring Farseer. And a lot of times that was, like, the only way they could heal. So, like, when you look up healing, it becomes tough. So, when you're playing, especially, like, the rogue class and things like that. So, here we go. Bang. Healing for everyone.
When you're not playing Wild, and you can just play an antique heal bot instead.
Yeah, in Wild, you just play antique heal bot. But in Standard, here you go. One more option, which is great because there was so few. So sometimes you were just like, I just need to add a little healing. What do I do? And you'd be like, there's nothing. Like Voodoo Doctor, and it's like, that's not good enough. So here you go.
And it has enough attack to probably trade with things. So, you're going to be trading with their 4s, maybe even their 5s. So, yep.
Yeah, it's a decent body for its cost.
Yeah.
Yep. Sneaky Devil's up next. It's a 4-mana 2/2 common neutral demon with stealth, and your other minions have +1 attack as long as Sneaky Devil is alive and not silenced.
So raid leader with stealth and cost 1 more.
Yeah.
I'll pass. I'll pass on that.
Arena card. Boisterous.
Well, not even you wouldn't, because it does have the demon tag. So that's the other kind of caveat to this, is not being a raid leader. I know how much you hate raid leader, Dill, but
Raid leader sucks, and this costs 1 more, so it sucks even more.
but you can't easily kill it, and I'm not thinking so much that it would be great on turn 4, right? But it does die easily, and then if you bring this back with Gul'dan, then late game, all of your stuff is just buffed even
now,
more.
I will admit that
No?
there might be like a Demon Zoo type thing that ends up wanting to use this because you can play
just because of the demon tag.
Yeah, you can put buffs on it. You can you can put like that Blood Fury potion and things like that. So yeah, stealth bodies are never that terrible. So, but it's like I feel like it just costs a little too much.
Mm.
Like I'd rather be a 1/1 and cost 3, and then maybe we could do something with that than a 2/2 that costs 4.
That's interesting. Yeah. Because if it was as is at 3, I think it would just be too good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as is 3 way too good because you're literally just power creeping a raid leader, right? But but yeah, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's like, and you will again sometimes get this because you chose demons and Kazaka spell, so that's gonna happen sometimes. I will say, yeah, like that Demon Zoo type thing, I'll give it a go and see if I'm wrong, but I don't expect I am.
Also,
you're just so like, because of raid leader, you're just
this effect just isn't that good. It just isn't. Like we've seen this effect on lots of cards. There's that Paladin weapon, right? Or is it the Paladin weapon that could give unidentified maul? It could give this effect. Like it's just +1 attack only to a board. Just never really ends up being that awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've had plenty of history seeing it, so it's like I feel pretty comfortable saying it's not good.
Yeah, the only reason I think that it could be is just because Gul'dan exists, where like, because you're right, like when you have to play on curve and you're, the whole part of the early game of Hearthstone right now is fighting for board, right? So the smaller your board is, and you're probably going to have a small board in the early game, then the less effective this is. But with Gul'dan, most of the time, unless you've had a real bad run, you're bringing back somewhere between like 3 and 5 demons, right? Yeah. So then if you're getting a buff on 3 or 5 other minions, and it doesn't even say your other demons, but that's just like you're bringing your whole board, you're bringing your whole board back, right? So because you're kind of filling your board at the same time, I feel like this could be better with Gul'dan in those demons.
It's true. It's true. It's very possible that in that's those specific scenarios it somehow ekes into being a playable card, but it just feels like when I'm looking at my demon options, I'm going to be like, there's something better for my 30 cards than this.
Mm-hmm.
I think so as well, and I think in Zoo decks you'd rather just have a Direwolf Alpha, because the chances of having more than 2 other minions to get a +1 attack buff to, I'd rather be able to just get it out for 2 mana for the 1 attack buff on 2 minions than hoping I have 3 minions and paying 4 mana.
Yeah. Yeah, because then I can play another thing that same turn, right? So
Yeah. Although I would like to go on record as saying I am perfectly fine with straight up power creep on Raid Leader. Go for it. I don't care. Boisterous
yeah,
Bard.
you can power creep bad cards. It's okay.
Yeah.
Boisterous Bard is next. A 3 mana 3/2 common neutral minion with a battle cry that gives your other minions +1 health.
I love this idea. Bards in Warcraft, please.
Oh God, I would roll one tomorrow.
Yeah, give him buffs, health buff to everything else. Again, though, it's like it's going to be hard to justify this card in Constructed because you're going to have at least probably 2 minions alive for this to be worth its mana cost, right? Because 3/4 is like a vanilla stat for a 3-drop. And even in those scenarios, like maybe you can't even make use out of that 1 health, so probably not going to see any Constructed play. However, because it's a battle cry, not like an aura effect, it persists even if it dies, right? So I could definitely see this being drafted in Arena and helping you make some value trades. So you'll see it there sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's a solid Arena card. Stone Skin Basilisk is up next. It's a 3 mana 1/1 common neutral beast with Divine Shield and Poisonous. I think I'd still rather have Giant Wasp in Arena.
Yeah, Giant Wasp only kills one thing, but you kind of ensure the kill. It's not that hard to kill off a 1/1 with Divine Shield, but it is annoying, and this can sometimes just kill 2 things. So, again, probably Arena, probably never Constructed.
Well, Constructed if you get it off Rexar, right? Because I feel like
That's
this
true. It's
makes
a beast, so
a
you'll
lot
get-
better, right?
Oh, that's
so
going to be sick off of Rexar.
yeah, because you have the potential to take whatever awesome stats and then also give it Divine Shield and Poisonous.
Yeah, that's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Dills, I think we need to make sure Joss isn't getting a kickback from Rexar because she is totally nailing all of the.
I just want Hunter to be good.
all of the Death Star
that
Rexar.
no minion hunter is going to be playing Rexar, and if Rexar is suddenly more powerful because of new beast options, then maybe that deck actually is a thing.
Maybe it is.
I hope so.
I
do too.
want it to be
I'm
so
gonna try
bad. It's such a cool thing, and it's just so slow. It doesn't work. Sewer Crawler is next. A 3 mana 1/1 common neutral minion with a battle cry to summon a 2/3 giant rat.
Nah.
So this is like the reverse of the other
Razorfin
one.
Hunter.
Right? Yeah. So Razorfin Hunter is a 2/3 that summons a 1/1 for 3, and then Sewer Crawler is just the same but backwards.
Yep.
So no one's gonna play this except maybe Arena. I don't know. Does Razorfin Hunter get played in
Well,
Arena?
yeah. Sometimes
definitely.
you have to pick it because it's the best of the three choices. So yeah, sometimes this will be the best of the 3 choices.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not going to be good.
I think I had to pick it in my last Arena run. Now that I think about it, Razorfin
Now-
Hunter, not obviously Sewer Crawler. I'm not hacking the game to get bad cards from the next set.
And let me just bring something up here because they made a new token, the giant rat, instead of just making it summon a river croc. And the dude is literally wearing a crocodile hat.
In the sewer.
Why doesn't he just summon a damn river croc?
Well, the giant
Why does
rat.
it have to be a giant? Why do they have to make a new thing?
Well, the giant rat is art that was already made for one of the first bosses in the dungeon run.
Okay, sure.
True.
So-
Okay, so it's not technically a new whatever. Well, then why is he wearing a damn croc hat? Like, what's going on here? They're just messing with us
Well,
now.
I don't think he killed the crocodile. I think the giant rat did, and he just took the carcass and made a suit out of it.
So the giant rat ate every part of the crocodile except the top of its head.
Also, if you
Yes.
if you look
And
close,
now the kobold wears the crocodile's head to scare everyone
Yeah.
off, even though he's only a 1/1.
Yeah,
Yes,
he put 3
that's the
candles on top
story.
of that croc, and he was like,
Yeah.
that's my new
So
hat.
then he just hides, he ducks down, and everyone just sees the head of the crocodile, and they're like, whoa, can't go over there, crocodile.
Oh, you know, yeah, he probably just swims like
Yeah.
underwater and it looks like a croc is coming, but really it's a
Yes.
kobold. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
All right.
if you look
This guy
real
is
close,
crafty.
he's got little baby rats all around, and they're adorable, even though they have red eyes. I love it. And this is terrible
So
for an
that's
audio
your
only
cutest
podcast.
card of the expansion? The sewer crawler?
Not the crawler himself, but his little adorable rats that look oddly like our new Chihuahua Zelda. Yeah. My dog looks like a rat is what I just said, if you missed all the points I just connected. Kobold Apprentice is next. It's a 3-mana 2/1 common neutral minion with a battle cry that deals 3 damage, randomly split among all enemies. We also saw this card in action in the dungeon run on the stream yesterday. So, Arcane Missiles, when you drop down this 2/1 for 3 mana, is it worth it?
No.
Yeah.
You pay 1 for Arcane Missiles, so that would mean you're paying 2 for a 2/1. If you were like thinking about combining these 2 cards together. But sometimes, again, in Arena, this will be the best of the options.
Yeah. Towards the end here, it's a lot of these are just like, fine for Arena, probably not going to see constructed play.
No,
Well,
never
now
going
we're
to see constructed play. Ever.
Now we're talking commons, and that's usually the case with the neutral commons, right?
Mm-hmm. For the most part, yeah. Let's see. Dragon Slayer is next. Dragon Slayer is
this is a contentious card.
Yes, it's a 3-mana 4/3 common neutral minion with a battle cry that deals 6 damage to a dragon.
So I'll say one thing that I like about this card before I completely trash it as a card.
It doesn't get buffed.
I like the fact that it doesn't say. I like the fact that it doesn't say battle cry deals 6 to a dragon, and if you do, gain 5/5 in stats or some ridiculous thing. I'm glad that they stopped doing that because that's stupid. Like, it's dumb to like swing and then swing even harder if you do, right? So that's good. But what I hate about this card is they've added some dragon-y stuff, and and I get it. I get why they keep doing this, but basically it just means like I can't draft. I don't think that this is going to see actual constructed play, but like even if Dragon Priest is like somehow a super awesome deck, I still don't think this actually sees constructed play. But I do think that now it's going to be like what Galactic Crawler does in Arena, where I literally can't draft the 4-mana 4/5 or 5/4 pirate, because if I do and they have Galactic Crawler, I lose the game, right? So now all of a sudden I'm going to be like, I can't draft this awesome dragon, because what if they draft Dragon Slayer and it's a common and everyone's probably going to draft it, and I will just instantly lose the game if they did. So it's a weird card. I don't like these crappy cards.
Yeah. At least it doesn't kill. At least it doesn't say like just Battlecry kill a dragon, right? Like at least that there's some kind of caveat that makes it kill like early to mid dragons, but it can't kill like Primordial
Drake.
Drake.
Kill giant ones.
Kill,
and that is good too, because remember like Big Game Hunter, it was really annoying to play a 3-drop that murdered your 10-drop and 9-drop and 8-drop.
Right. Yeah, so I think that makes this a little bit better, and like you said, the fact that it doesn't get buffed again is good. But I don't know. I feel like 3-mana 4/3 is just almost like too good of stats. Like you're not really paying that big of a price for the fact that you can fireball something.
I know, right? That's crazy.
Like a specific something, but still something. Which, given a lot of the cards that they released in this set, could actually be like a playable archetype. We've just been talking about what other decks other than Priest could possibly make use of dragons, and there's some really good neutral ones. There's some really cool things you can do with Recruit, except then there's Dragon Slayer.
I'm reserving my rage to see if just by some some way, some unfolding of the universe, dragons, especially Dragon Priest, doesn't just take off like a hell-bent rocket. I'm pretty sure it will. But if it doesn't, then I don't care about this. But if it does, oh my god, if it does, this isn't even Galactic Crawler. Galactic Crawler was at the very least reacting to something from a previous expansion. I see this and I'm just like, it's like you guys know you made broken dragons in this set. In this set, you're including a boring answer to a problem that doesn't currently exist. We're not having a problem with dragons. We don't need a card like this. We may need it with this set, but why not just balance your dragons a little more if you wanted to make this card?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I understand why they make these, because they make them so that even if they don't really see play, they're out there, and so while you're building your dragon deck, you have to think about them, So, but that doesn't stop anybody from okay, I get it. Like it's gonna kill my operative, right? Like that doesn't mean I'm not playing a damn operative, right? Like, so
I just wish that it had like it was a 3/3 instead of like a 4/3 or even a 3/4. I feel like,
no,
but
4/2.
The fact that it can like
Make it a 4/2.
4/2, sure. but it feels like it has too much utility. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I agree that this feels like a weird bad deck card.
Yeah, I just don't like this way of dealing with
Yeah.
stuff. But I don't know. It's hard to really come up with ways to do this kind of stuff in card games. That's the perfect way. I'm not sure what it is. It's just like these kind of things make it just feels bad when games are kind of decided because this guy just happened to be the guy who texts in Dragon Slayer, or this guy happens to be the guy who drafted Dragon Slayer, and it's like that kind of stuff. It makes it so like Big Game Hunter, people used to complain about it all the time because they're like, I want to play my big awesome cards and I can't because this thing is so easy and cheap. So yeah, you should always be paying a little bit of a price to do this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're paying, like Galactic Crawler, when you're paying 2 mana for a 3/4 and murdering my big pirate, like it's just like, dude, what? Like that's silly. This again kind of feels like this. They started on the process of making it right, and then they just didn't quite finish off when they decided 4/3 was the right stat line.
Right.
I kind of think they're just, I don't know, messing with us. They're just like, man, I'm gonna give this one more attack than it needs because I just want to hear everyone get mad. Like,
I don't think they ever want to hear anyone get mad. I don't think that the Hearthstone team has a good day when everyone gets mad.
Well, then I don't understand this card because the Galactic Crawler conversation is still going on, and then we get this. But whatever the case, let's just move on and talk about Toothy Chest, a 3-mana 0/4 common neutral that at the start of your turn you set this minion's attack to 4.
So like validated Doomsayer, but earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But earlier, yeah. And maybe better, because it's probably harder to deal with the 0/4 on turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
But still probably not playable.
No.
Unless you have the Scorpid.
Sure.
Scorpomatic, sorry.
The thing is, though, I mean, the 3-mana 4/4 is awesome in Arena. So I think you can draft this in Arena because even though it won't make the trades early on, if you actually do get a 4/4 that can attack on the next turn, that's pretty
but that's
sweet.
kind of the thing, right? Is that so like you play this and then they can essentially kill it for free and you're not actually killing their board versus if you were playing a 3-mana 4/4, right?
Well, yeah, but 3-mana 4/4s always have some sort of drawback, right? And like either they hit things randomly, which we see in the Warrior card, or the old Ogre, or they freeze your board, or they do something like they have a drawback. 3-mana 4/4s have a drawback. So its drawback is that you can't really play it into a developed board by the other guy because then they can, even if they don't like kill it that turn, at least they can maybe damage it. So then it ends up being like a 4/2 or 4/1 or something like that. I think this is an okay way to give you that drawback. So, and it's still probably worth some of the time, but it's never going to see constructed play ever.
Not even like chat room is saying in a meat wagon deck. Huh?
No.
No. Okay.
I mean, the validated Doomsayer in the Meat Wagon deck is fine, but this is not enough value, I think, to pay 4 for the 1/4.
Maybe we'll see more like this, and eventually we'll get Meat Wagon decks, just as Meat Wagon is about to rotate out.
Right. I think validated Doomsayer is the risk of drawing it is it's less of a risk to take because you draw this in a constructed deck and you're just like, ugh, gross.
But it's not enough of an upswing either. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're looking for a swing when you're trying to Meat Wagon out a validated Doomsayer, and the Toothy Chest isn't quite the swing you're looking for.
Yeah. Fungal Enchanter is up next when this plus Shrieking Shroom means that mushroom people are now a Warcraft race that I want to see in World of Warcraft.
Which we probably will because we're getting Tortolans. So
I'm so stoked about the Tortolans. There was an Angora design I really liked. Anyway, Fungal Enchanter is a 3-mana 3/3 common neutral minion that has a battle cry that restores 3 health to all friendly characters.
2.
So,
Is that what I say? I say 3?
Yeah.
Sorry. 2.
Well, there's a lot of 3s on this card, so yeah. But this is a really good card, actually. I mean, I don't think it's a constructed level card, but it's a really good card.
Mm-hmm.
It's closer than a lot of the common neutrals I think we've talked about here as far as being constructed playable, but I want this real bad in Arena.
In Arena, for sure, you're going to be able to make some sweet trades. But, yeah, like the thing about constructed, So one thing that's interesting is if you were to play Priest, you could draw multiple cards with this, right? With Northshire
True,
Cleric
yeah.
and things like that. You could also play Shadow Priest or whatever, Akanai Soul Priest, and then do a little consecration essentially.
But you
Well,
kill
but
your
it's only
own.
It's only
friendly.
friendly characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would
Oh,
play
never mind, screw
Akanai
that.
and then
No,
consecrate
screw
your own
that then.
boy.
You just draw cards. Yeah, see, that's why it's not constructed playable.
You'd get.
That's why it's just not. Like it's just, but it's a sweet arena card. Sweet arena card.
Yeah. I'll do an addendum to what you just said. You can play with Akanai and you'll have a great clip for everyone to smile at.
Well, I've actually played an Akanai Reno deck, so
That's me. It happens.
I'm weird.
We've done it. Pleated Beetle is up next. It's a 2-mana, 2/3 common neutral beast with a death rattle that gains you 3 armor.
So power creep on the River Croc.
Yep.
Like 100% power creep on the River Croc.
It's a beast.
It's a beast. Yeah. That's fine though. River Croc, doesn't see play. So
Well, we know because of Sewer Crawler that River Croc is dead.
well, you could put this in potentially put this in your Druid deck. I'm just trying to think if there's any constructed place for it. It's the Druid deck that upgrades its Spellstone, right? By gaining armor.
Yeah, even then I feel like you're overreaching.
Well, and I mean, again, it's yet another buff to Deathstalker Rexar, right? Because it's a 2-mana beast.
Sure. Yeah. And in Arena it's totally fine. Because 2-mana 2/3s are totally fine. And gaining a little life, that's also fine. So
It's all good.
I mean, Druids can take advantage of the beast tag potentially, so I don't know.
They have Mark.
I don't think so. I'm
How
just
many
trying
more?
to find.
It's going to rotate out with Old Gods, right? Mark of Yasharaj.
Yes, I believe so.
Wax Elemental.
So, not much else.
Yeah. Wax Elemental is next. It's a 1-mana 0/2 common neutral elemental, because of course it is, that has Taunt and Divine Shield.
And awesome art.
Yes, I love so that, like, if you're not a World of Warcraft nut like everyone on this show, this is like the art for the golems that we've been seeing since vanilla, only this one is made entirely out of wax and the top of its head is a burning candle. But back to the card itself. Yeah, it's meh territory.
0/2s are not great to play. It's possible maybe you could throw this in some sort of a zoo deck because it's a sticky minion that then you could buff.
Or your
that's
Meat
about it.
Wagon deck.
Oh, Jesus. Again, though, Meat Wagons need to pull something that's like really cool. They can't be pulling 1-drops,
I believe that was a joke.
Yeah.
I believe that one was a joke.
No, I know, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's like I look at Meat Wagon, I'm like, man, there's one day when this card's gonna be sweet.
Dills,
Just like,
it's not a sticky
not
card. It's a waxy card. I need the womp womp sound on the board for these type of moments. All right, final neutral minion. Then we're bringing this episode to a close. The Dire Mole. It's a 1-mana 1/3 common neutral beast. That's it.
but it's actually really friggin' good if you're playing Hunter or Aggro Druid. So this might see play.
And
You
it
can
has
play
no
this on
text.
1. You
It's
could
the only
Mark
one,
Yasharaj it on 2. You've got a 3/5 that's attacking, and you drew a card.
Gross.
I don't see the problem here. Yeah, it's like that's really good. And if you're playing a Hunter, like, would you rather play an Alley Cat or would you rather play a 1/3? You get, same, like, obviously you get 1 less attack because you don't get 2 minions, but it's more likely this will be alive. You can't ping it, so you can Crackling Razor Maw this on the next turn, and then suddenly you've got a 4/3. Oh my god! Like,
No.
I don't know. This seems really good for those types of decks.
Now you're doing it wrong. You've got 2 damage out of a Wind Fury. Come on, Dills.
That, or you can give it Wind Fury. Yeah, sure. You're gonna be looking for the plus attack though. Like that's oh my god, that's so good.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's just this seems like a really strong 1-drop for those specific classes.
Yeah, are you excited for Dire Mole, Joss, because of the Hunter implications?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, already talked about Deathstalker Rexar, and these aren't huge stats, but at the same time, it's only 1 mana cost, right? So if you're looking for something that you want to play that turn, the lower cost, the better. So this is just going to beef up something else that you've made as part of your zombies. So, I mean, it's great. It's also good on turn 1. The only thing that I think makes Alley Cat better on turn 1 than Dire Mole is the fact that Alley Cats die, right? So if you can then play Hyena on 2, then you've got 2 beasts that are going to buff your Hyena when they die, right? Dire Mole doesn't do that. But I think it gives you more flexibility in your one drop slot. So yeah, this seems like the mana worm for hunters.
Yeah. Well, the thing that was weird about that kind of mid-range hunter deck was that you always ran just Alley Cat as your 1-drop.
Right.
It was just weird. It's like, so I only have 2 1-drops in this deck that wants to play minions on curve the entire game. So now here you go. Here's your second 1-drop.
Yeah.
That you can actually do. So now you have 4, and you're more likely to actually curve out.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be interesting, and we're going to talk about it on the next episode. We're going to get into Hunter a little bit more, but I'm really interested to see which version of Hunter ends up being more viable, the kind of super beasts or the no beasts, because it could go either way.
No minion, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
going to
no
guess it's going to
yeah.
be the mid-range hunter, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the other thing is
yeah,
kind of gimmicky and weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too, but we'll talk about that on the next episode. For now, let's bring this to a close. Let's thank our patrons who are supporting us over at patreon.com/TAC. If you are all out there listening right now, if you like the Angry Chicken, if you enjoyed the show, if you think you got something out of it and you want to give something back, the Patreon's the best way to do that. On this episode, we want to thank Louis C., Joe P., Ryan, no last name given, David M.R., and Richard L. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And thank you to our Patreon producers, Declan H., Michael N., Sean C., Johnny S., and LVE. End of the show, so time for the outro. Find the back catalog of TAC over at AMoveTV or on the youtube.com/AMoveTV. The Twitter account is at TAC Podcast to keep up with the show, especially during holiday times and BlizzCon traveling and all that kind of stuff when times change. But Dills, where can folks find you?
Check me out on Twitter. I'm at Willie Dills, and twitch.tv/Willie Dills is my Twitch channel. I'll be playing a lot of Hearthstone coming up on the 7th. So, and then I believe the 12 Dills of Christmas is going to start on December 10th. So if you like silly Christmas songs and things like that, and you want to hang out and drink nog and mulled ciders and things like that with me, come join me for that. We'll be streaming every day from the 10th through the 21st for the 12 Dills of Christmas.
Who doesn't love 12 Dills of Christmas? Come on.
It's the best time of year.
It is the best time of the year.
Jocelyn, how about you? You doing any Christmas stuff?
Not so much Christmas stuff, but Dills and I are actually starting up something on Thursdays-ish, maybe. We're doing some Warcraft PvP. So I'm super, super stoked for that. It's going to be like our break from Hearthstone on Thursday. So we are doing it this Thursday, even though it's Kobolds launch day. So I'm really excited because I haven't had anyone to PvP with. So we're even going to do like arena things, guys. What?
Yeah.
What?
Sweet.
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited about that. Other than that, you can follow me on Twitch or Twitter. I'm at JossPlays.
Nice. Folks, I'm on Twitter at GarrettArt. All the podcasts are at amove.tv. I've been promoting the Star Wars show because Last Jedi's coming out, and I'm not going to stop now, so go listen to Let's Talk About Star Wars, available anywhere you can find your podcasts. With I'm on it, Tom Merritt's on it, Jenny Josephson's on it, and we're doing 2 episodes this month. We're recording this Sunday our last pre-Last Jedi episode, where we're going to get on and be super, super wrong with some theories about what we think is going to happen in that movie. And then we'll be back afterwards to spoil the movie. So go find Let's Talk About Star Wars on iTunes, on Google Play, etc., etc. It's going to wrap it up for this episode of The Angry Chicken. If you're listening on the audio, see you tomorrow for episode 240. Job's done.
Job's done.
Job's done.
Yes!